What's going on, guys? The MercilessGhostie back again, this time with Scream 4. Is it worse than Scream 3? Better than the original? Let's discuss. But first, I want to say this is the last one for the new one. I can't wait to see the new one. I will have a review for it up likely Saturday or Sunday. And then I'll be ranking all of the Scream movies early next week. I want to give everybody a chance to see the film before I really dive into it. But there will be a spoiler warning before I dive into spoilers on my review. That being said, let's jump into Scream 4. Starting right off the bat with the suspense and tension as usual. This is going to be really hard to rank some of these categories. There's some great moments of tension in this that is ruined by comedy one-liners. Starting off with the opening, what is usually the most tense and suspenseful part of these movies is the weakest in this one, in my opinion. It's actually kind of funny how stupid it is. The movie within a movie within a movie. Yeah, I know, it's confusing as hell. I'll give you all a minute to process what I just said there. But it gets to a point where it's like, alright, we've dragged this on enough, let's wrap it up and let's get into the movie. I did like this one particular scene, the lighting in it, and what was the actual opening. The nice dark blue lighting. I'm a big fan of dark blue lighting in horror movies, and it really worked in this setting, in my opinion. Once you get into the movie, there's some great moments of suspense in it. Like when the deputy is standing in the dark in the hallway, introduces herself to Sydney. They give off the vibe that there's something off about this character, and there kind of is. Right after that moment, Ghostface calls Jill and Kirby while they're on the phone with their friend Olivia, who lives next door. This is kind of like the new trio of girlfriends in this story. But it's a great, Ghostface says, "I'm in the closet," and it's a good moment of suspense while Kirby goes to open the closet. She opens the closet, Ghostface isn't there, and she's like, "You liar." Ghostface said, "I never said I was in your closet." And then they realize, oh shit, and then he pops out and attacks their friend Olivia, who lives next door. There's another nice moment in the parking garage with Sydney's publicist. This film overall has a much darker tone than all of the other ones, even the first. It's really bleak at times. There's a nice moment where Ghostface says something like this to Sydney: "You're a survivor, that's what you do. That's like your one and only skill." I'm paraphrasing, of course, but then he says, "What is the point of being a survivor through all of this if all of the people close to you are dead?" It's really bleak at times. They do a good job of making you wondering who the killer or killers are. Overall, it's a much darker tone than all of the other movies, so I'm gonna give the suspense an 8 out of 10 in this one. Next up, we got kill creativity, and again, this one is really hard to rank because the kills in this movie are absolutely brutal. But the lack of variety is gonna knock down the score a bit. The girl Olivia that I mentioned earlier, her death is crazy gory. They show her laying on the bed with her intestines cut out. It's absolutely gross and disgusting, but great kill. There's another one where one of the cops gets stabbed in the forehead. His head starts gushing out blood. He gets out of the car and he walks down the street a couple of feet. But they ruin how scary it should have been with the one-liner where he says, "Fuck Bruce Willis." Absolutely takes you out of how scary the scene should have been. There's a few surprise deaths too that you won't see coming, and the kills are overall more brutal versions of what we've seen in the last 3 movies. So overall, I can't give it a high score because this is about creativity. But for the gore and some of the effects and how they really went there for some of the kills, I'll give it a 5.5 out. Next up, we got the writing. After taking a big dip in Scream 3, the writing is back on track and far better in this one, especially with the return of Kevin Willamson, who wrote the first 2 movies. The OG cast returns again and are much more enjoyable than the last 2, in my opinion. Sydney is back in the best version of herself since the first movie. She isn't doing these stupid plays or sitting in a chair talking to suicidal women the entire movie. She returns to Woodsboro to promote her new book, and once the killing starts, she goes into full go mode. I really enjoyed Nev in this movie. She has a great line at the very end where she finally kills Ghostface, and she says, "You forgot the most important rule of remakes. Don't fuck with the original." I really like that line. This line really, this movie kind of really plays in and spoofs the whole remake craze of this time. Dewey and Gail return too, and they're married. Dewey is now the sheriff, which I like. It's a nice arc for that character. Gail isn't a narcissistic, fame-seeking character in this one. She actually wants to help Dewey solve the murders, though she does have some nice Gail moments. Like, there's a moment in the police station where Dewey is interviewing Sydney, and the deputy that I mentioned earlier that introduced herself to Sydney is kind of guarding the door. And she made like these little lemon squares for Dewey, but Dewey didn't want to have them, said he was cheating on his diet. And Gail ends up having one, and she takes one, she eats one, and as they're having their little interaction back and forth, Gail and Judy, before Gail leaves the police station, she goes up to her and says, "Your lemon squares taste like ass," which made me actually LOL. A few of the new side characters are a little annoying, like Robbie and Sydney's publicist. This kid Robbie is like this version's knockoff of Randy. Every one of these movies have one. You kill them. The remaining survivors should be well versed enough in this now to know the rules. I like Emma Roberts as Jill and Hayden Panettiere as Kirby. Outside of those few annoying side characters and these one-liners that kind of fall flat for me, this is the best writing that it's been since the original, in my opinion. Just a notch below. I gave the writing in the first one an 8 out of 10. I'm going to give this one a 7 out of 10. Lastly, we got the score. And once again, this film doesn't really do anything with the score for me. There's a few creeping sounding pieces of music throughout, but overall it doesn't do much for me. Even like the other movies have like popular music from the era in it, and I can't really remember any like popular music that really sticks out from 2011 in my mind that really stuck out to me in this movie. I'm being generous. There's a few like I said, there's a few creepy sounding pieces of music throughout, but I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10. That's being really generous. Overall, forgettable score again. And overall, this is my favorite Scream movie since the first one. I really enjoyed it. I gave the first movie a 7 out of 10. That's going to change when my ranking comes out. It's going to get bumped up a bit, because after rewatching the entire series outside of the new one, I realized just how much better the first movie actually is compared to 2 and 3. If you want to see a more brutal version of the first one, with the writing just a notch below, I definitely recommend checking this one out. Grab some popcorn and check out Scream 4. So what do you guys think of Scream 4? Is this your favorite? Is this your worst? You think it's somewhere in the middle? Comment below and let me know. Also, you can follow me on social media at MercilessGhostie on Instagram. Come join the Facebook group, Merciless Ghostie Friends and Family, where I want to talk horror mostly all day, every day on this page, but I want to make one day a week where everyone can come post their content, whether you draw pictures, make music, make content similar to mine, whatever it is. I want you to be recognized for your work. And lastly, if you're new, please consider liking and subscribing. Help the channel grow. It's a group effort. I can't do it without you guys. Engagement brings traffic. So if you want to see the channel grow and you want to see new people come chill with us, then please consider liking and sharing the video. Comment below and let me know your ranking of the Scream movies. I would love to know. Overall, can't wait to see the new one. I'll see you guys soon. Have a good day. Peace.